What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today I'm going to hit you up with my mid-year top 10 projects for 2019. I really did think about doing maybe 15 or 20, but then I decided to go with 10 because it's a much more concise number, and at the end of the year I always do a top 30 or so anyway, so I'm going to save a little bit of mystery for that, and this list also isn't in order for that same reason. I don't want to run things down from 10 to 1, I just want to tell you 10 projects that I really like, and maybe throw a couple of honorable mentions on the end. Now, if you didn't know, I also have a playlist going now that's called My Favorite Projects of 2019, so if you click on that, you're going to see all these projects as well as a bunch of other ones, so make sure you check that out. But right now, we're going to jump right into this, starting with Bun B and Static Selecta's project Trill Static. This one is really one of my favorite projects of the year because of how short and cohesive it is, and I think Static Selecta came through with some of his best beats. I like every piece of production on here, and then it's also cool how this was recorded with everybody just coming in and out of the studio over a live stream. By doing that, you really do get this fun, organic, and natural feel, so Bun B and all the guests on the verses and the hooks do their damn thing on this Static Selecta production, and I think this one is kind of slept on, so if you haven't checked it out, make sure you do. Now, up next, we have Slow Ties, Nothing Great About Britain, which is one of the biggest surprises of the year for me because I'd never heard of this guy much at all. I did look back at some of his past work before I reviewed this project, but I really loved what he was doing here. He spits in this very aggressive, fun, and unique style. He's just very rowdy with it. And then with the production, you're getting a lot of versatility. You're getting some of those UK bangers. You're getting a lot of different instruments coming on some tracks. There was one guitar joint on there. There's also that track Doorman that just sounds like some shit out of Trainspotting. At least that's what I said. It kind of sounded like something that would be in a Trainspotting montage. If you watched my review, you heard that already. But yeah, this was just a great album, man. He's really giving his open and honest perspective on how he views Britain while also bringing in his own personal story. So this is one of the few projects that got a 4.5 out of 5 this year. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be high up on my year-end list. Another one that got 4.5 out of 5 is this next one I'm going to speak on. Again, this isn't in order, but I'm talking about Kweli Chris's album Guns. Out of all the projects I've heard this year, this one is probably the most political, and he's really giving a lot of social commentary, all about guns from different perspectives, you know, different people, how they use guns, whether it's people hunting, people out in the streets who are getting involved into some really negative shit, people who protect themselves with guns. There's all sorts of ideas that sort of revolve around guns and gun violence in America, while also speaking on a wide variety of issues that tie into everything. So really just a cool project. Lyrically, I'd say it's one of the most dense projects of the year. Every time you listen back to this one, you're going to pick up on a bunch of new things. So this is a great project. It was a 4.5 out of 5. And I also got to point out that there's some fun humor and references tying this all together. So I really did enjoy this one from Kweli Chris. And then we have Benny the Butcher with his recent EP called The Plugs I Met. Simply put, this is just 7 tracks of the dirtiest, grimiest, traditional boom bap gangsta shit that we've heard this year. There are some other projects on this list that I'm obviously going to speak on, but this one right here was really solid, man. There wasn't really anything on this that I didn't like. Great features, great beats from guys like Derringer and Alchemist, just that grimy traditional sound, as I said. So Benny is really putting together a consistent discography, man. I like pretty much everything that he's done. Tana Talk 3 was great, and now he follows up with this EP, which is going to be on my year-end list, so that's why we do have it here. Scrolling down, we have another 4.5 out of 5 this year with Lil Simz's Gray Area album. I really like the sound on this one because there is some unique stuff happening, especially when she gets on those more rock-laced tracks and she's rapping and spitting in this very aggressive style. I just like the energy that she brought, and she really was getting personal and introspective on this one. This is another project that's quite short and cohesive. I believe it was only 10 tracks. It's coming out of the UK, and she really was spitting some of the year's best lyrics on this thing, man. She's got great flows. She's really snapping on some of these joints, and I like how she wasn't afraid to express her vulnerability and speak on a wide variety of topics that mean a lot to her or have to do with her life, so it's well deserving of being on this list. Now, another one we're going to bring in here is Denzel Curry's Zoo album, and this one really just kept it simple. I like what he did here because it's not quite as deep and heavy as some of his past projects, which do explore different concepts and ideas. This was just all about that Miami love. He came through with all kinds of trunk slappers. You're getting features and producers who are coming out of there in Florida. Everybody's just coming together. So if you're just looking for some trunk rattlers, this one is going to fulfill all your needs, man. Denzel Curry really gave us a great and cohesive project with this one and showed us that even when he's not doing deep rap, he's still flowing his ass off, man. He's still spitting with heart and passion and energy, you know, that you would expect from him. So that was a really great project there. Now up next, we have Freddie Gibbs and Madlib with Bandana, my most recent review on the channel, and really it's been growing faster than any of my other reviews, so check it out if you haven't. And this was yet another 4.5 out of 5, man. This was a great follow-up to Pinata. I like it about the same as that. You're getting great flows, cadences, street narrative, and storytelling from Freddie Gibbs. I thought he had bars all over this project. And then of course Madlib is coming through with that classic sample-based production that he's known for. Really just a strong display of chemistry from a producer and a rapper. I think when these two come together, they can't really do wrong. So make sure you check out that project if you haven't. It's easily one of the year's best in my opinion. And another one to speak on, we have Aesop Rock and Tobacco with Malibu Ken, and this might be the weirdest, quirkiest project I've heard in my damn life, man. It's definitely up there, definitely the quirkiest of the year. The production from Tobacco is really cool with all this buzzing and swirling synth just flying all over the place. It's very cartoony, spacey, and fun. And then Aesop Rock is on here with some of the year's most interesting concept tracks. I love how he breaks down this different content that a lot of other rappers wouldn't even touch, like when he's rapping about these fucking falcons or eagles or whatever it was that ate the cat on a live stream. That was just some really wacky shit. He tells a story of a murder that went down somewhere in the States, I forget where it was. There were just some really interesting ideas on here, and he had some great flows, great lyricism as you would expect from Aesop Rock. Really just a strange project, but strange in a good way. So check that one out for sure if you haven't. It's really something that's different. And yeah, man, just a very unique and fun ride. Up next, we have Boogie with Everything's for Sale. And going into this one, I didn't know what to expect because I hadn't heard too much from Boogie, but I did like some of the stuff that I did hear, and this one really cemented itself as an early favorite of 2019. I like the way that he brings that singing style in. He's not putting auto-tune on, he's not a great singer, but yet you can still feel that passion when he sings. It's really catchy as well, the way that he puts his vocals down. Like that aspect of the project. Lots of great songs on here. Live 95 is really one of my favorites of the year. I like those guitar joints that are just very wavy, and then he brings that singing over top, very melodic in spots. And you're also getting some very personal content on here if you really listen to what he's getting into, man. He's getting personal, and it seems like he's just trying to find his way and figure out the direction that he wants to go in life. At least that's what I took from it. Great project, check it out. And then we have Arson Pact with Ventura. With this one, he really won me back, man. That's not to say that I thought Oxnard was trash, it certainly wasn't, but it didn't give me what I wanted from Arson Pact. Well, this album right here, Ventura, certainly did. This one was the one where he got back to that funky, soulful, groovy Arson Pact that so many of us loved on Malibu and in his earlier work, so this just really hit the spot. Really smooth and melodic production all over this one. Great features from Andre 3000 to Nate Dogg, for crying out loud, Smokey Robinson. You got all kinds of people coming together to make this really beautiful soul project. I come back to this one quite a bit. Lots of great tracks on here. Funky joints as well, like King James, that get into some political content and social commentary. I was really happy with what Arson Pact gave us here, and I'm glad that he got back on track. So, you know, there we have it, man. Those are 10 projects that I really like. If you check the playlist I mentioned earlier, there are some more on there. For honorable mentions, I would definitely shout out Smith & Wesson, The All. That was a great album earlier this year. And even Jim Jones with that El Capo album, man. That might be the biggest surprise of the year because I wasn't expecting to like a Jim Jones project that much, but that Heatmaker's production is too crazy, and he really stepped his bars up. But anyway, man, these are the projects that I really like this year. Let me know what you think. Feel free to drop down your mid-year top 10 because I always want to hear it. Just drop it down below in the comments section. And of course, make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff where you show me love and you show me lots of it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.